Hi, I'm Greg Gutfeld, along with Judge Janine Pirro, Harold Ford Jr., Jesse Waters, and her life is always under a microscope. Dana Perino, the Five. Just moments ago, President Trump saying that he feels safe as he storms his old stomping grounds of New York City, where he's set to hold a big rally later tonight. But before that, he made one incredibly important pit stop, kicking back with the most handsome host to ever exist. Mr. P, how's your golf game?
Well, haven't been thinking about it too much lately. I always said golf is a very dangerous game.
It really is. It really is, especially if they're playing with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's
What, that was a mean joke?
Pretty sad.
Did you, if they had told you that the shooter was there, would you have tried to take him out with your 3-wood?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, if I knew. Actually, the Secret Service did a great job. They saw the barrel of a gun, big gun.
Yeah.
And it came out through bushes. And how many people would see that? First, you know, he really was very exceptional to have done it.
Meanwhile, the Dems are desperate to control the narrative on Trump's second brush with death. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre losing it on Peter Doocy for daring to ask if Joe and Kamala were going to cool their anti-Trump rhetoric.
How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question, the question that you're asking. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it.
This is interesting, Dana. So KGB defends saying Trump is a threat. And if you bring up saying that Trump is a threat, then that itself is a threat. So if I bring this up to you saying that what just happened, does that mean that we just made the threat even worse?
I guess so. It's exponentially so.
Yes, it's like those Russian dolls. It just gets more
worse
and more.
And worse. That reminds me of my dream when I was late to the plane and I couldn't get here, but here I am. It must have been the full moon dream. Congrats on the interview, because I think that's a great venue for Trump.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris would never do that venue.
No, I don't think so.
Because it's spontaneous and you have to have substance and a quick wit and an ability to get a laugh.
And we don't have an open bar. That's the other problem.
That's difficult, and that's one of the reasons I don't come on that much anymore. One of the problems, I think, for the Democrats is not just what Karine Jean-Pierre said, but what they want a constitutional officer of the United States to say, has said, and that's Tim Walz. Let me read to you what he said yesterday. He said, "There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech. Donald Trump needs to be banned from social media." That was Harris. If you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable. Most dangerous presidential ticket in history. And he has gone on to say that basically it's utterly something that is utterly disqualifying when he said, you don't have a right to this free speech.
Yeah.
Like, sir, it's in the First Amendment.
I know.
It's in the title.
It's crazy. It's crazy, Jesse, because they always say it's going to be Trump or the Republicans that are going to take away our rights. And right there, he just took away your right to speech.
Well, I mean, I don't want Doocy asking questions either. That guy is annoying. Everybody knows that. I thought Trump was great on your show because he actually listened. You don't usually see him stop and let other people talk. And I can't wait to see it tonight at 10 o'clock. And I'm just saying that. I'm not really going to watch it.
No, of course not.
But I know, it looked good. He looked relaxed. And then all of a sudden he leaves and he goes down to the Lower East Side to a Bitcoin dive bar.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's such a threat. It's not about a threat to democracy. He's a threat because he's a revolutionary. He's taken this Democratic Party, and now the unions, the Teamsters, aren't even endorsing because the entire union body wants Trump. He is blowing through this blue wall that is a complete threat to the Democratic hierarchy. He's closing the border. That's a threat to all of these people that want new voters and all the corporations that want this cheap labor. And then he's realigning all of our alliances and all of our trade deals and scrambling the entire world. And to a lot of people, that's scary. Change is scary. He's ushering in radical change, and it's like fight or flight. So that's why he's a threat. He's a threat to them. He's a threat to them emotionally because he doesn't speak in their coded language. And they're jealous of him because they wish they could be as blunt as he is.
Interesting. You know, Judge, the guy in the middle makes a good point. They keep saying it's a threat to democracy, but you had Joe Biden and Kamala Harris call Trump after the second attempt and to see if he was all right. Now, would you call a threat to democracy to see if they were all right, or somebody who's an existential threat? It makes me think that maybe they don't mean it when they call them those names.
You know, they are so dug into having to convince America that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy that they can't even answer a question about whether calling him a threat to democracy is in fact instigating the people on the outer edge who are ready to act on the so-called threat to democracy. It's like me saying to you, you have a gun. Is that a gun? And you say to me, that's a dangerous question. But you have a gun.
Yeah.
And that's the way they are. I mean, it's about politics over people. It's about power over people. And the realignment of the parties, the fact that the Republicans are holding more weight with the Teamsters is really an example of what's going on in America. He speaks to Americans. He speaks to the things and the issues we're concerned about. He speaks in a very clear language. He speaks a lot. He's on his way to Uniondale, I think, tonight. And this is a guy, look, anybody else would be suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome or under a desk. They shot at him once and hit him, and they're ready to shoot at him again, and he wanted to finish the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way he is, and that's exactly who we need to take out those people who are more interested in power than they are in the people in this country.
If you want to hear more from Donald Trump, he'll be joining me for the entire hour on Gutfeld at 10 p.m.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.
Instigating. Instigating. Scramble. Scramble. Hierarchy. Hierarchy. Brush with death. Brush with death. Kicking back. Kicking back. Pit stop. Pit stop. Premise. Premise. Exponentially. Exponentially. Spontaneous. Spontaneous. Quick wit. Quick wit.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.